What's going on, guys? This is Alex with Metastophicles Gaming, bringing you 3 more Wilds of Eldraine collector boosters. So these are one of the more fun packs that I've opened lately. I definitely have enjoyed all of the art in this set. It's been really cool. There's some cool reprints that they have in here that are useful cards that I've been, I guess I've been trying to get my hands on some of them. I just don't, sometimes I don't want to pay the price for the, $40 single, even though clearly I'm spending money on collector booster packs, but this is fun. Still hoping to pull a Moonshaker Cavalry. If I could get anything out of these 3 packs, that would be it. Because I think it would be a very, very cool finisher to have for my Elish Norn Mother of Machines deck. So, with that being said, let's go ahead, let's get into opening these and hope for the best of luck with getting a Moonshaker Cavalry. Alright, and we got pack number 1 here. Let's go ahead and get right into it. And start off with a Leyline of the Void. Focus, there we go. Leyline of the Void. So, enchantment for 4. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin with it on the battlefield, and if a card would be put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So, like that. We get another Unnatural Growth. We've pulled a couple of those now. Useful card, so I'm not upset about it. There's a couple of decks I would like to put that in. I like this card, the Questing Druid. It seems like it's fun if you're playing very many colors. So 5-color deck, this would be really good in. I just don't have a 5-color deck that I want to put it in yet. Court of Vantress, Archon of the Wild Rose, Hatching Plans, and a Stab Wound. That's a nice little stab of a jelly donut there, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. There's some fun art in this set, with like those alternate art cards, the Enchanted Tales. That it's like very, very, very fairy tale-esque, and I think it just looks very, very cool. We get a Chancellor of Tales, Greta, Sweet Tooth Scourge. So 3 mana, 1 black, green. For a 3/3 human warrior, when she enters the battlefield, create a food token, and you can tap 1 green and sacrifice a food and put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Activate only as a sorcery. Tap a black and a colorless, sacrifice a food, and you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So there's been a lot of food potential commanders since the Lord of the Rings, and now you get this one here. There is some good potential to make some food themed decks lately, and I kind of like it. I don't know that I've ever used food tokens very much, but I kind of been thinking I might very soon. There's a lot of good options right now. Okay, we move on to Talion's Messenger. Very Noble, 1/3 for 3 mana. Flying, whenever you attack with 1 or more fairies, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a card this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target fairy you control. We get Aggravated Assault in that nice anime borderless art, so that's pretty cool. Three mana for an enchantment. Tap 5 and untap all creatures you control. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. I think that card's really cool. I like the way that looks. This card looks really cool too. Mosswood Dread Knight, 2 mana for a 3/2 with trample. When it dies, you may cast it from your graveyard as an adventure until the end of your next turn. And its adventure is Dread Whispers. Tap one black and 1 colorless. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. And that just looks really cool to me. It's a very badass human knight. Definitely one of my favorite arts from this set so far. And I've seen a lot of art that I like. Song of Totentans, Rankle's Prank, Prankle. Choose 1 or more. Each player discards 2 cards. Each player loses 4 life. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Dark Tutelage and Compulsion. Swamp. Bitter Chill. Taken by Nightmares. Gadwick's First Duel. Cut In. Brave the Wilds. Plunge into Winter. And Flick a Coin. And moving on to our final pack here. All right, let's see if we can luck out with that Moonshaker Cavalry. We do get a Virtue of Loyalty, which is the first one of these that I've seen. That's awesome. So 5 mana for an enchantment at the beginning of your end step. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Untap those creatures. And its adventure is 2 mana to create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. We pulled a Greater Automancy. 2 mana for an enchantment. Other enchantments you control have Shroud, and enchanted creatures you control have Shroud. So pretty cool way to protect your battlefield if you are playing a aura deck. Scalding Viper. Pretty cool looking art there. Kind of burning all the books, it looks like, in the library. Kind of rude if you ask me, but you know, whatever. He's an elemental snake. He does what he wants. We have 2 mana for a 2/1. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, Scalding Viper deals 1 damage to that player. And you can send it on an adventure for 1 blue and 1 colorless to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. We get a Brenard Ginger Sculptor. So we get a human artificer here. 1, a green, a blue, and a white for a 3/3. Each creature you control that's a food or a golem gets +2/+2 and has trample. That sounds wonderful to me. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 food golem artifact creature in addition to its other types, and it has tap 2, tap, sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. That's very interesting, and I like that card. That's actually pretty cool. And yet again, kind of on the theme of food. Very, very cool. We get a Feral Encounter, which is a 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card from among them, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may cast the exiled card this turn. At the beginning of the next combat phase this turn, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature you don't control. That could be very, very cool if you were to go grab, let's just say, Galta, and throw Galta out for 2 mana because you have enough power on the board to do so, and then have Galta fight something big that, or not even fight, it's just deal damage. So that's even better than fighting because Galta won't take the hit. So can deal with some difficult little baddies with that card. I actually think that's a pretty useful utility. Unfortunately, it's a sorcery, not an instant, but I still think it has very many uses. This was a really good pack, or these were really good packs, I should say. Some really cool cards in here, and some cards I actually think I might really try to build around, like Bernard. I know he's in one of the precons, but I feel like it might be fun to build a deck around him. Greater Armancy, Virtue of Loyalty is a cool one. Mosswood Dread Knight, some really, really cool art. If we can get that to focus here. Definitely, probably some of my favorite art so far from this entire set, because it just looks awesome. And green's my favorite color, so this just looks fantastic to me. But that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. And while we're on the subject, what's your favorite art from this set so far? Let me know in the comments down below. So give it a like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.